Every year, I celebrate a linkclick main character's birthday with a video special. It's a different theme for each year. And this 2026, it's going to be about the music related to the birthday celebrant. It will be a mix of observations, analysis, theories, and just fangirling. In this video, we'll be covering the songs that are related to Qiao Ling somehow, excluding the opening and ending themes. Although it wasn't Qiao Ling herself who sang in most of these songs, there are particular songs that are actually centered on her. And one of them is Now and Forever. This music video had shown Chibi Qiao Ling walking on what appears to be a camera film. It's like she is literally walking on memory lane. That film strip is above a book, perhaps representing a record. After all, books may contain a record of our memories, like how photographs can capture memories from our lives. As Chibi Qiao Ling walks on this lane, the sad experiences of their clients from Season 1 are being shown, while the second batch shows memories of Season 1 and Season 2 clients that aren't really sad. But there are some changes starting on the third batch. Chibi Qiao Ling started to smile. Later, she faces the audience and happily waves. Perhaps this change implies that it is the period when the Time Photo Studio trio had some impact or influence. After all, the flower ring was Tsung Xiaoshi's doing, and the next one is with the cops, who are directly working with the main trio in handling the supernatural cases. The last batch is a little confusing though. Well, they are more like happy moments we wish had happened. Oh, my dear Chunpin. But I'd like to believe that these are actually Season 3 material, near linkclick's ending. I'll discuss more about that later. Now, about the song itself, the lyrics don't seem to be directly aligned with the visuals. Well, it starts with an intention of wanting to change the past, but concludes about not changing anything at all. Or perhaps it just meant about not changing the good memories, as they will give us hope to a brighter future? Whatever. Well, the other Qiao Ling centric song is actually pretty similar in that aspect. The Huangying Guanglin or Welcome music video starts with Qiao Ling herself welcoming a customer to their cafe. Although the song is centered on her, it actually features all three of them. All three of them gather the ingredients from the farm and from the sea. All three of them help in preparing the food, each of them in charge of a particular role. And of course, all three of them are present when facing the customers. Similar to how they are like in canon, they work together day and night. Anyway, the scenes of Qiao Ling being shown together with the boys in their animal counterparts might be related to her being their boss. Well, as the boss, she is technically their owner, right? Human owners treasure and take care of their beloved pets like family. No wonder those two continue to follow her, no matter how often she scolds them. They're usually just one of them. About the song, for some reason, it's talking about flying to discover a faraway place, particularly towards the sunset. Maybe it didn't mean flying in a literal way, so it could have been figurative, or perhaps it refers to a plane? Since there's a mention about taking a seat, it also talked about collecting unclaimed regrets and then turning back time once they dock at the edge of the sky. Perhaps the main message of this song is like, welcome aboard the Time Photo Studio Airlines. If you have regrets, we'll help you resolve them. So sit back and relax as we travel to the past. Don't worry and just wait for your happy ending. Once we're done, our team will be heading towards the next destination. Or maybe I'm just being delusional, huh? But notice that the visuals don't seem to match the song lyrics on this one either, right? Or maybe it's the overall theme of the songs, which is hinting something. Both music videos are filled with good vibes, makes you calm and worry-free. It's making me think that those things are giving clues about linkclick's ending. I'll discuss more about that later. This time, we're going to look into the music videos wherein Qiao Ling was featured somehow. In Rewind, although it's more of a Shirkwang-centric song, Qiao Ling was shown giving the duo this paper, which seems to contain the mission details. What she's doing is like what the boss of a spy organization would do, right? It's not that different from canon since their dives are pretty much like missions anyway. And Qiao Ling was also shown on the monitors which the enemy, who seems to be Li Tianzhen, had been observing. Maybe this is what Li Tianzhen sees during the theater scene in Season 2. By the way, notice that when a rewind happened on the music video, she was also included in that rewind. Maybe, on whatever tragedy happened during Shirkwang's mission in the video, she had been one of the casualties. Don't tell me. Like this one? Well, so the rewind reversed the bad stuff, and Shirkwang became successful in their mission, and we get a happily ever after. And that's what should happen in canon too. The mastermind behind the time reversal cheat is revealed as Lu Guang in the next song. The music video of the genius who poaches time was somewhat portraying Lu Guang as a criminal mastermind who has escaped from prison along with his accomplices, who are none other than the siblings. All three of them appear to have become a little cocky and unhinged since they are even taunting the law enforcers to dare to catch them. There are scenes of the trio in mugshots, and the content of the digital board they are holding changes sometimes. With Qiao Ling, it starts with "Hello World," and then later, her signature, then lastly, her signature emoji. I'm not sure about this scene wherein she was being surrounded by those round things. Perhaps those are floating spy cameras or some sort of tracker since they are in a futuristic setting? And maybe this graph implies that she has been analyzing some data, which might be something she had acquired from the control room? The multiple monitors like on this scene remind me of the scenes from Surprising Click. There are two versions of the Surprising Click music video, the original and the Halloween special last 2025. The original video appears to be centered on the main trio as a whole, and it's all about having fun with linkclick's cool music. Or so it appears. There are parts which seem random but could actually mean something. Like for instance, Qiao Ling was shown sitting on and surrounded with multiple old TV screens. It's similar on the later part of the video wherein she was standing. The TV screens had glitches, and for a moment, it appeared like she had been inside a glitching screen. These glitches also remind me of the glitches in the Lu Guang video and in the Britain arc. What could they mean? Could they be referring to timelines of changes in the past? Or maybe they're not exactly time-related glitches. Could be some other abnormality or even a technical related one. I think there's a chance it's technical. That will be discussed later. Anyway, the trio had been shown dancing together. Oftentimes, Zheng Xiaoshi is the lead, but there's one time wherein Qiao Ling is at the center. The trio had also been shown doing this camera pose. Qiao Ling was not yet there on the first occurrence, but she appeared on the second round. I think it may represent on how it's mainly just the duo in missions in Season 1, but she started to become part of the actual missions in Season 2. There's a part wherein Qiao Ling was shown in 4 photographs though. I don't think that count has any significance, and it's just for aesthetic purposes. But if it does mean something, it can't be any good, so I don't want to think about it. Then on this grocery store scene, Qiao Ling shown with a gun with money as bullets. It's making me think that she could resolve things using money. Reminds me of when she bailed out the duo from jail in the Britain arc. Speaking of the Britain arc, the Halloween version of Surprising Click now includes the Britain trio. The Halloween special begins with the main trio watching some horror movie in the attic. When watching horror movies, Qiao Ling appears to be the type who concentrates, then tries to hide when she gets scared, but takes a peek anyway. I suppose it shows that she can somehow overcome her fear with curiosity. That reaction is similar to when they encountered Xiafei, who was acting like a masked serial killer. They had to run away for their safety, but Qiao Ling had been taking glances on him. But it's different on their encounter with Vane, whom she had been running away for her dear life. Well, it's understandable since Vane is really creepy anyway. But her reaction on their encounter with Liu Xiao is interesting. Lu Guang and Zheng Xiaoshi were so freaked out, while she was even fascinated with him. So it looks like she's the only one among the main trio who is not intimidated by Liu Xiao in any way. It's aligned to what she sang about in Train Trail. It's now time for the songs where we will hear Qiao Ling herself singing. At the beginning of the Train Trail song, the characters had been saying some lines that are similar to, if not exactly the same, as what they said in canon. On Qiao Ling's part, she said, "Now, can you tell me your story as well?" It reminds me of what she said to Li Tianxi in the interrogation room. At the end of the song though, she said, "Fate treads through every pair of dancing fingertips." I don't really get it. But maybe, similar to the first part, she's going to say this same line in the actual series. Anyway, the highlights of the song is the showdown, or to be particular, the rap battle between the villains and the heroes. Li Tianzhen's and Liu Xiao's parts were done first, and both of them had been very intimidating. But among the heroes, Qiao Ling was the first to talk back against the villains. She even sounded tougher compared to the main duo. Here is my interpretation of what she is saying in her solo. Listen to my advice. Don't be cocky and shut up. You're just pathetic thieves lacking respect. Oh my, are you trying to scare me with your shiny weapons? Too bad for you. Those things don't frighten me. In fact, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just someone who is meant to understand you. So, have you grown up well? Ha! Don't you dare badmouth me. You know that we always get the job done. And even though I haven't even started using my true power yet, you're already trembling from fear before me. And it's not a surprise since this isn't even a battle. Just an adult like me, educating children like you. She slays! That's why she's best girl! Woo! She doesn't see these two villains as a threat at all. They're just kids to her. In her perspective, they're just naughty children who need to be disciplined. Oh, but she's not only like that towards those who are younger than her. The Map of Dreams music video begins with the trio preparing for their adventure. When they reach unfamiliar places, Qiao Ling seems to be the most excited to explore around. Then the first obstacle they encountered was an arrogant prince who made her so pissed off no matter how elegant and handsome he was. If I'm not mistaken, Xiafei is older than Qiao Ling by 1 year. But although she does acknowledge Xiafei being older than her, she still doesn't tolerate his attitude. Well, like with her encounter with Tianjin, she can be tough even towards people who may be almost twice her age. Anyway, as a cleric or priestess, she considers her attacks as a type of healing, and she was doing the same to the prince. She disciplines anyone who doesn't know how to treat others with respect. Now, let's look into Qiao Ling as a priestess in Map of Dreams. So in this world, she is called Tiao Tiao, but strongly rejects having it translated as Jojo. Reminds me of when she was arguing about what she's supposed to be called in Season 1. About her power, she apparently has a reflect damage effect, wherein the damage to her enemies is equal to the healing amount she had done for her team. Perhaps if this is a representation of canon, then that would mean whenever her teammates get harmed, she looks after them first and then takes revenge with equal damage later. Oh, that makes her so overpowered. I love it. As for her character background, she is also the daughter of a landlord and grew up with the Zheng Xiaoshi hero. Same with canon. Though there's also a mention of her being crowned with the title Holy Fist King, who defeated all the troublemakers in her town. She not only heals others, but settles disputes too. A lot of people had admired her for how amazing she is, that she even has her own fan club. I won't be surprised if something similar also happened in canon, including the fan club. Anyway, Qiao Qiao became even more popular when she won against the prince. But instead of living in stardom or luxury, she chose to accompany her two companions where she thinks she is truly needed. I'm convinced that this is also happening in canon, like with how Lu Guang is willing to live with Zheng Xiaoshi despite the lack of perks. And if that really was the case, it would mean that Qiao Ling could have had a more convenient lifestyle, but she chose to support her broke younger brother and his best friend. It's like she chose them over her happiness. Or maybe it's because they are her happiness. Oh my gosh! This is making her such an important figure as part of the main trio. Unlike with the earlier songs, Qiao Ling didn't have much solo parts in 3-2-1. Well, the solos were mainly performed by Zheng Xiaoshi, perhaps to reflect on how alone he felt at first. Then he was followed by Lu Guang. But after Qiao Ling joins them, they started singing as a trio most of the time. It would make more sense if this song is looked into detail as a whole. So I will cover that in another video, okay? We will focus on Qiao Ling for now. So the first part where she sings alone is when she says that they will slap away the rain and sunshine. Perhaps it is showing that she is the most confident about being able to overcome the obstacles they face. Then, when the boys were talking about the end of a solo journey, she mentions about a certain group picture. Perhaps she was referring to this one. The Britain org had been emphasizing this photo so much, it has to be something important. This was most likely taken during the time when the Time Photo Studio was established, when the three of them had been together as a group, as a team. 3, 2, 1. They count as 3. There are some things which are common in the Qiao Ling songs. Some may be just a representation of what we already know in canon. But I think there are some which are possibly spoilers of what Season 3 will reveal about her. Let's start with her being a crucial member of the main trio. Qiao Ling is already established as the duo's boss since Season 1. After all, she is technically the one who gives them work. And if they screw up, she is also the one who scolds them but also gets them out of trouble. But after finding out the truth behind the duo's abilities, in Season 2, she starts to become directly involved with them. So it's no longer just with the main duo, but it's now the three of them participating in dangerous missions. Then in Season 3, I think it will become a combination. I mean, it would be like she will still be giving them missions. I can imagine them just doing business as usual at the beginning of Season 3. But on certain missions, she will be participating herself. So in other words, she's not going to be left behind like in the Britain arc anymore. They don't need to hide from her like in Season 1 either. Because this time, she's going to be with them. Each of them will have their own role, but each role will be equally as important as the others. They will even take turns in taking the lead. They work together towards a common goal. They are complete as 3. Well, there might be times wherein they're not complete. I think in Season 3, we will see more combination variations of the trio. And I'm most excited for the Lu Guang and Qiao Ling combo. It's so rare. But for missions wherein only Zheng Xiaoshi or both the boys will be on the field, Qiao Ling would most likely be monitoring their location, especially once she discovered that she now possesses Li Tianxi's ability. But I think Qiao Ling might possess another incredible skill that will be helpful in their missions. You see, I think Qiao Ling might be a genius hacker or a tech genius in general. In the Poaching Time music video, she was showing techs that will be more familiar to those who studied programming somehow. I can really imagine her having the ability to hack systems to get data like in those graphs, or access security cameras from multiple monitors in a control room. And these system errors in the surprising click video would make sense if she also has the ability to place viruses or bugs on computers she hacks. I know that kind of ability is something she could have used in Season 1's first case, but who knows, maybe she was just playing it safe or was not yet that skillful at that time. Or maybe I'm simply wrong. Well, whether the hacking ability idea is just a fantasy of mine or not, what's for certain is that her ultimate skill is being both a healer and a fighter, like how she is being depicted in Map of Dreams. On Qiao Ling's character background in Map of Dreams, she was described as someone who always says the harshest things with a gentle smile. She's not a healer in a medical sense, but more of the emotional kind, like a caring family member or something like a therapist, similar to how she had been with Li Tianxi. But if you're not cooperative, you're going to get a taste of her tough love. She's already somewhat like that towards Zheng Xiaoshi. Moreover, it looks like she doesn't necessarily see her opponents as enemies. She just thinks they are naughty kids that need to be taught a lesson. She is the protector of the good kids while a punisher of the bad kids. Wow, she really overflows with big sis energy. And as expected from the reliable older sister, she won't be afraid to protect her siblings from anyone, no matter how dangerous it is. Another thing that her music videos had been hinting is that the villains don't intimidate her. Except for Vayne, I guess, because it's currently unclear with him. But because of what Lu Guang already did to Vayne, I don't think Vayne is going to be friendly to her as soon as he finds out that she is related to Shi Guang. And since Qiao Ling was already able to peek at Lu Guang's memories, then how she would see Vayne might be similar with Lu Guang's, both traumatized and furious. But with Li Tianzhen, she most likely sees him as a younger brother since he is the same age as Li Tianxi, whom she treats as a younger sister. She could have been traumatized since Li Tianzhen had literally controlled her, but the end of season 2 has confirmed that it didn't bother her one bit when she saw Li Tianzhen in person. She could have even chased him if Li Tianxi didn't hold her back. As for Liu Xiao, I think their encounter is going to be really interesting. Well, if I'm not mistaken, Liu Xiao is actually around Zheng Xiaoshi's age, so she is technically older than him too. And like with Zheng Xiaoshi, she would most likely think of him as another brat who needs scolding. Oh, I want to see Liu Xiao be at a loss of words when he faces Qiao Ling. But I think her encounter with Xiafei is going to be even more interesting. Because of Xiafei's good relationship with Shi Guang in the Britain arc, he and Qiao Ling might not be enemies on their first encounter at least. She might even recognize him since she already has a magazine with him on the front cover even before the duo has met the actual model in Britain. However, in the Pain music video, Xiafei was portrayed as a villain which you can win against if you manage to unmask him. Then in Map of Dreams, his charms had no effect with Qiao Ling and she had defeated him. It's like his lies have no impact on her. So it's giving the impression that among the main trio, Qiao Ling would be the one who not only finds out about Xiafei's true colors, but she would also be the one who would confront him about it. Remember that Li Tianxi was someone that knows the truth about a person because she can access their memories, right? And Qiao Ling has inherited her powers, so you see how Qiao Ling may be able to do it now, right? So it's making me think that when Xiafei's real personality gets exposed and Qiao Ling will be the one who will heal him, then there might be a romance potential between them. And I totally don't mind that. Xiafei and Zheng Xiaoshi will become brothers-in-law with that after all. But I think it will be more entertaining if it's going to be one-sided, as in Xiafei is the one who has a one-sided crush on Qiao Ling. But of course, villain Xiafei is not the only obstacle that the trio will be overcoming with Qiao Ling's help, since I think she will always be very helpful even with the other challenges. The Qiao Ling centric songs are full of positivity. They give us hope that everything will be okay. As what Qiao Ling sings in Map of Dreams, they're going to break through walls and barriers. She's usually the one saying such lines. It's like her involvement makes it a guarantee that the trio will be able to overcome whatever challenge they face. It is aligned with what she sings in 321, which is about them slapping away the rain and sunshine. Remember, in Now and Forever, Qiao Ling was looking straight at first, right? But starting with the third batch, she starts to greet the audience. The scenes behind her are when the heroes had been involved, so the last batch of photos might be something similar. They might not exactly be memories of what had happened, but more like new futures or rewritten pasts that will happen at the end of the series. We are going to get these happy endings because the trio will be performing miracles! As what Qiao Ling had mentioned in Train Trail, all their commissions have a 100% completion rate. 100% success rate. It's like she is saying that the three of them are going to be victorious in whatever mission they take. I suppose it's no surprise that she can guarantee their victories, since she is the goddess of fortune herself. All hail the queen! And those are my thoughts about Qiao Ling in her songs so far. At the time this video was released, her song number with the twins isn't available yet. But I won't be surprised if she will be treating Li Tianzhen as a brat again. Or maybe this time, instead of trying to beat each other up, these two will be fighting about taking custody over Li Tianxi. But how about you? What's your interpretation of her songs? What theories did you think of because of her songs? What are your thoughts about her duet with the twins? Let's talk about it in the comments or in the community section. Thank you for watching the first installment of this linkclick music video series. I hope to see you again having fun on the next Celebrants video. Take care!